This is going to be a call that you will be glad you listened in on, that you learned from and got to connect with and see. And just to pat him on the back a little bit, I don't know any other, we've done a lot of these calls, and I don't know any other companies that have brought on their VP of sales, their CTO, and their COO on a launch call to introduce us to them. So if there's any commitment or any questions about their commitment on how bad they would love our business and want to service us and make sure that we know that we know they care about us, this is it. Hi, everybody. Grady Polson. Welcome to the America Agency. Everybody, Grady Polson, the America Agency. Beyond excited to have the leading team, the C-suite group of Instabrain, a group of people that I've gotten a chance over the past couple months to get to know a little better, got to see their commitment towards themselves as a company, got to see their commitment towards us as a partner, and got to put us first as far as helping us and our agents get contracted and get ready to start selling on their incredible platform. Many of us are familiar with an online process of selling, and there's might be some things you love about it, might be some things you hate about it. Well, Instabrain has come in and they said, we're going to take everything you like and do it, and everything you don't like and get rid of it, and we're going to figure it out. And now we're here to play in this market. From the, I'm going to steal a couple of your thunders, but from their term, their whole life, their accidental, they've got great products that our clients need, want, and deserve to have, backed by a great company that we can trust. And they'll talk more about that. But guys, this is going to be a call that you will be glad you listened in on, that you learned from and got to connect with and see. And just to pat him on the back a little bit, I don't know any other, we've done a lot of these calls, and I don't know any other companies that have brought on their VP of sales, their CTO, and their COO on a launch call to introduce us to them. So if there's any commitment or any questions about their commitment on how bad they would love our business and want to service us and make sure that we know that we know they care about us, this is it. And on top of that, I even dressed up with my purple, my orange, and my green. Did my best to get my Instabrain colors going for you guys, as it is a vibrant logo. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to you, Parker, VP of Sales, and absolute great guy, ready to teach us more about what's going on in their company.
Yeah, let me share my screen here a little bit. And again, just to reiterate what I said, I don't think I could have even drawn up a better introduction than what you gave me there. So I appreciate that, Grady. And we're really going to hop into the one thing that, I was blessed with when I went to the Ignite conference, and I'm sure some of you I met a few weeks ago, right, was just the amount of motivation, the diligence, and you guys know what your clients want. You know how to target your clientele, your market base, and you know what you're looking for. And you're going to see a few examples, even based off of that Ignite conference, how not only, I don't want to take credit, the Instabrain team and then Fidelity Life, who's the carrier behind the scenes, have already heard what you guys had requested and already have immediate improvements that are being implemented. But the one thing that I want to, and let me go ahead and go full screen here so you guys aren't seeing the extra shenanigans, is I want to kind of touch on a little bit about the term instant decision, because the term instant decision, I feel like, has in a weird way been abused in the independent life insurance marketing term or a marketing ploy to get business in. And what I mean by that is you have a lot of carriers out there that will claim to be instant decision. You do everything that they tell you to do. You get an application submitted, and then what happens? A medical exam is ordered. APS is ordered. A telephone interview is ordered, which completely defeated the purpose of why you went with an instant decision product. And I know the FFL group, when it comes to instant decision, it's all about efficiency in general, not only on getting your clients covered as quick as possible, but also you as the agents yourself, making sure that you're getting applications approved as quick as possible, especially if you have the client still on the phone. But then also, how quick are we going to have commission turnarounds as well, right? Because as much as we want to get clients covered, this isn't a hobby, right? So we want to make sure that the carrier that you guys are doing business with is not only quickly turning around efficiency when it comes to issuing policies, but also quickly turning around when it comes to payments as well. So the one thing I want to hear, and you're going to hear me say this multiple times, but I'm really just trying to drive this point home. Every single product that you're going to find on the Instabrain platform is going to be 100% instant guaranteed decision every single time. Doesn't matter how healthy they are, doesn't matter how unhealthy they are, doesn't matter what product that they were targeting to go with specifically. They are going to know whether you as the agent submit the application, or you're going to see here, we have the consumer-led application option as well. The client could do it all themselves, but when they hit submit or you as the agent hit submit, 100% of the time, no ifs, ands, or buts, they're either going to have a yes, the client was approved, or a no. So you're going to know right then and there. Why is that huge as an independent agent? Well, first off, you're going to see that we're going to talk about multiple products to where even if I have an 85-year-old who has cancer today, they're still going to be able to get offered coverage here on Instabrain. But maybe there's a situation that we need to pivot to another product that isn't specific on this platform. You're going to know the second that the client hits submit or you hit submit right then and there. Sometimes as an independent agent, especially with how many dials I know that FFL is making on a regular basis, knowing that you have a client on the phone right then and there, we don't always know if you're going to get them back on the phone 3 days later after underwriting comes back with a different offer. But if you can know that there's something that a hiccup, a hoop that we need to jump through right then and there, when you have that client on the phone, all that's going to do is just help create the opportunities for you as the agent to still have the client on the phone, maybe ask the additional question, or pivot to the right product that they're going to be opportune to go through. So I want to make sure here, we're going to start off today's conversation before I go through the bullet points of what really makes Instabrain stand out. I want to kind of reiterate what Grady was saying there, in that we were very diligent and calculated behind the scenes. We saw all of these Instabrain carriers that were trying to roll products out, and as quick as they released these products, they also exited the space. And we also heard on the independent side of things where a lot of these instant decision carriers were making missteps in making sure when we rolled out Instabrain, we weren't making the same mistakes. So I want to just kind of touch on a lot of the stuff that when you guys hear instant decision, you probably associate with a lot of these carriers that kind of claim this marketing instant decision claim. So first off is, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know the carriers that I'm referring to here, right? That claim to be instant decision, claim to provide a consumer experience, but at the end of the day, you're still dealing with delays. You can't get anybody on the phone. They're not helping out. So I want to go through a few of these bullet points here that we recognize that a lot of agents they were upset about. The first one was minimal to zero agent support. You guys were tired of calling up to an instant decision company, wanting details on why a policy wasn't approved, but then getting like a answering service. Nobody really understood on underwriting, didn't understand the life insurance products, really couldn't give you details about why this particular client wasn't approved with this policy, which then you don't even know where to go and pivot and try to position this client with. Potential underwriting delays. A lot of these instant decision carriers out there, they claim to be instant decision, but just as I mentioned on that last slide, you still get the medical underwriting, you still get the telephone interview, you still get the APS ordered, which completely defeated the reason why you went with an instant decision product. You had a client on the phone ready to go, right? So all of a sudden getting the fully underwritten delays on an instant decision product is kind of counterintuitive. No living benefits. Those of you out there who have maybe dealt with this instant decision carrier that tries to claim to be everything you want, they don't have a living benefit. And I'm a big believer that if a life insurance policy doesn't have a living benefit product included in it, that's death insurance. That's not life insurance. But when we can provide some context, a good story to tell on how a client can actually access this policy while they're still alive, that is life insurance. I will also talk on here a little bit shortly about how this is the only guaranteed chronic illness rider I know in the entire industry, instant decision or not, even fully underwritten comparison. They have access to your clients. This was something when I was at the Ignite event that I know is the biggest discomfort with one of the most, probably the most frequent carrier you guys use in the instant decision space, in that a lot of you had no idea that this particular carrier had access to your clients. They had access to your book of business. Now, those of you who know what carrier I'm talking about, right, you've probably seen that. And I feel like that completely, again, defeats the purpose of why we become independent agents. We want to create our own book of business. We want to create our own brand. We want to create our own agency. And if we have a carrier that can market our clients directly, that completely puts a hole through what we're doing and why would we ever sell that particular client. So I want to also just emphasize here with Instabrain, we're going to get into multiple products that you have offered on the platform today, but we will never have access to your clients. You will always be the agent of record. You will always be the only person that will ever access, remarket your clients in general. I feel like a lot of agents that we speak with, when we talk about all the positive things that we have, that is one of the things that were negative in the instant decision space that they're glad to be able to move past. Extreme contracting delays. A lot of these instant decision carriers, we could talk about a few of them in particular. It doesn't even have to be the instant decision. Just contracting in general is taking a long time. It could take a month, right? Especially if we're talking about upfront when everybody is trying to funnel in. FFL has the upper hand. You guys have the exclusive rights to be able to offer this product to your clients before every other agent in the country. I think that's a huge advantage. It's also going to make sure that you guys aren't getting convoluted inside of those contracting delays. You will have upfront advantage to get everything processed right away. Good chance of medical exam or no instant decision. I talked about that a little bit there, that a lot of these carriers, they claim to be instant decision. And I even had an email here just an hour ago to where an agent was like comparing us to other carriers. But the carriers that they were comparing us to were carriers that could offer a medical exam or a telephone interview or an APS. So it could potentially take 3 weeks to a month to have a policy to issue, to where right now we have a policy that we shouldn't necessarily associate with something that has a medical exam. This could waive the medical exam and guarantee get you the 100% instant decision right out of the gate. And I think this is a perfect segue. I want to touch on these last two bullet points. Low commissions. We talk a lot about these instant decision products, and they try to kneecap agents by not providing a commissionable policy fee. So I'm selling a $400 term a year, but $70 is not being commissioned. That's a huge chunk out of the commission when it comes to it, right? So the fact that if you're selling $400 a year with Instabrain, you know what your compensation level is. You're going to get paid on the full amount. There's no deducted commissionable policy fee that a lot of these other instant decision carriers are providing. The last bullet point is I always love to do the story and analogy, and I'm sure my team's tired of hearing it, is it's like the Carvana of life insurance. We now have a customizable link that you can send out to a client, and I'm sure you're familiar with another carrier that offers this, but guess what? They had access to remarket your clients directly. So we're talking about now you still have the same full access, a customizable link you can send out to your entire client database, and they could technically quote the policy, fill out the application from A to Z, put in their payment information, and have that policy go into effect. And you as the agent get paid while you're sleeping, in theory, right? Without you ever even needing to speak to them, needing to review an application. And the only other carrier that I'm familiar with that offers that option, they're not as competitively priced as we are. They don't have a living benefit like Instabrain does. And on top of it, they can remarket your clients. So you still now have that convenience option to be able to send out to your, especially social media. If you're an agent that you're taking advantage of social media, you need to have a link that you can consistently post regularly, whether it's term, whether it's guaranteed issue, whether it's final expense, whether it's any life insurance product. Now you have an option that a client can click on, even if they don't fulfill that application process and they go through the motions. You as the agent, right? Grady Polson will still be able to see that Parker Adams clicked on the link, went 10% through the app, and then now Grady can call Parker because he knows that clearly if he clicked on the link, he's probably interested in life insurance.
He's a buyer for sure. So
yeah, 100%.
Parker, this is great. So all the things that we've kind of have just kind of dealt with. So you've got great support, no underwriting delays because it's 100% instant decision, added living benefits. We own any other online platforms that maybe we've used in the past. We now own our 100% of our book of business, and we are the agent of record. That sounds great. If I was, buying leads and working every day, 16 hours a day, I like that. Contracting delays. One of the things that impressed me and Matina and the team so far was that, like, I had an agent submit yesterday morning for their number and they got their email today. And that is bananas to see that they got their email today with their link and the link to log in, their email, and then the funky hex code, like, the first time password. And then you go in and change your like, you guys already have an agent ready to go to sell. Contracting yesterday. So I feel bad for Jade. She's gonna be very busy, but I also am excited for the agents to have access to your guys' platform so quick. And then, no medical exams, all the things. So this is a great tool to add into our toolbox. What else you got for us?
Yeah, let's hop in. So all I'm doing is, if anything, I was just talking about what the other carriers aren't doing, right? So let's clarify here what exactly Instabrain is bringing to the table. And the one thing I don't think you could have teed me up any better, Grady, than what you just did. And I know you didn't even intend to, because I didn't even bring this up to you. But I want to and I'll hop back here real quick. All of these bullet points. So the one thing that Instabrain we're not new kids to the block. And again, we were very diligent and calculated. And we wanted to make sure if we were going with Fidelity Life, if Fidelity Life was going to help fill this gap and be this instant decision product that everybody else promised to be, but wasn't able to, what can we do to get them to commit to it? So I'm not going to go through everything here, or this would take up the entire presentation, but you can see here, it's almost like bullet point for every single thing that I just clarified that other carriers weren't doing. We have in writing from Fidelity Life committing to making sure that doesn't happen. So before we even released, we rolled this out. This was something that was very big to me. If I'm in sales, I never want Grady to come back and be like, Parker, you overpromised and didn't deliver what we were going to do. So we came to Fidelity Life. We told them, where is everybody making mistakes at? How can we continue to improve it? How can we get Fidelity Life or any carrier to commit to this? So I just want to let you know here, you'll see these almost like identically match up with every single bullet point that we were just looking at here, right? If we talk about minimal to agent support, I can go here just as an example and say agent-centric partnership. Together, Fidelity Life and Instabrain are committed to protecting agent relationships. We've never completed our distribution. We empower it. We believe agents at the heart of life. As insurance agents, we've built a model that respects your client relationships, is going to do everything that you're expecting a carrier to do. And I have a nice little graphic image here, but I don't necessarily need you guys to absorb every single piece of this. I just want you guys to know that, we understand the frustration you have when a carrier overpromises but doesn't deliver. So us being the segue, we've been able to come in, hold them to it, right? Make sure that they're accountable to all of these other things that you guys have had frustrations with, to make sure that you don't experience those same type of hiccups, same pain points, same growing pains when we talk about Instabrain.
So for clarity, Instabrain Fidelity Life is I just Googled it, has 41 billion of life insurance in force. They took in over 200 million in premiums last year, and they're an excellent rating with AM Best for financial strength. Fidelity Life is the insurance company we're representing as agents. Instabrain is our marketing partner who allows us to be able to sell their products through their platform. Is that correct?
100%. So yeah, to clarify that, I'll take that one there, Grady.
Sure.
Instabrain is your sales channel. It's your sales platform. So we are motivated to empower.
Fidelity Life is technically the carrier behind the scenes.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah. So awesome. we provide the technology. We provide.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
The underwriting engine. We provide the engine that makes the sales possible. So Fidelity provides the paper. We provide the technology behind the scenes, or actually in front of the scenes, if you will.
Awesome. So guys, that's who we're representing. And that's what's exciting about this is there could be other carrier partners down the road. We're already with Instabrain. Then we're going to add on Fidelity Life. I don't know what they may or may not make an exclusive IUL for us. I don't, it depends how much business we sell, guys. But like the good news is there's a lot of potential with having someone that's figured out all the tech, partnered with a giant billion-dollar conglomerate and says, here's the keys. It's just a push button and go drive fast. And that's what FFL, if we do anything, we drive fast. So let's keep rolling.
Yeah, we got some more on the product there, Grady. I think a good time, speaking of driving, why don't we just look a little bit what it looks like to drive? Matina's prepared some screenshots. We want to show you what it's going to look like day one. Goal is simple. Goal is get selling. Goal is get paid commissions. Matina, queue up and maybe share your screen real quick and drive through some of just the shots that the agents can expect to see their selling process for us right now.
Sure. So we talked a little bit about getting contracted, right? So you're going to get contracted with the carrier, Fidelity Life. You're going to do that through your standard contracting channels, your upline or whatever channel you're using at FFL. Fidelity Life is an option on there.
What is that? Just so I can say it.
Sure.
No. What is the contracting plan currently? Email it, talk to your upline, and they're going to put the information into, right. And then they're going to get information through. Which of our acronym softwares are they going to get anything through? Sure LC. There we go. That was what I was looking for. Sure LC. So good. Sorry, keep going, Matina. I just, we got a lot going on back here. So we got to give some the right. So people are like, well, he said NLC, but I thought it was HCMS, but I thought it was the IP report. No, there's no IP report.
And I was hoping you weren't asking me that question.
No. Sure LC, guys. So you're gonna ask your manager. They're gonna get it for you. It's gonna pop up in your Sure LC, and you'll have your writing number tomorrow, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. So it's another point that we've emphasized with Fidelity Life is that quick turnaround. So we monitor that. We stay on top of it. We want you guys to have your numbers back really, really fast. So when you get your writing number, we will create a profile for you in the Instabrain platform, and we send that email invitation out to you. So you'll get an email in your inbox. Like you said, it contains your login information, a temporary password. It has some other information about your new Instabrain account. And when you go in and log in for the first time, you'll see on the screen here, this is what your dashboard looks like. So we made it fast and easy. Again, we're talking instant. You got your writing number fast. Now you can start your applications fast. So you can see the three options here. Instabrain currently hosts 3 products: the IB with living benefits, the Instabrain term, the accidental death, and a guaranteed issue product. And you'll see some lightweight information here on the homepage and a quick start application option.
And I do have a little bit, Grady, as far as, because you hit the nail on the head, right? You stole my thunder, and I apologize about the little lagging, the cutout there. But absolutely, we do plan to have a cash accumulation that's built into this as well. I don't know if I'm able to hop in here a little bit and kind of go through, kind of take back over as far as the Instabrain amounts, and then I can get into not only these product additions that Matina is letting you guys know that you have access to that no other instant decision platform does, but I also want to kind of paint the picture and the horizon of where really the, I like to call it an ecosystem of really where Instabrain is heading, to where we're trying to make sure you as the agents, whether you're having an application that you're trying to submit with a client on the phone, or you're sending a link out and marketing it to your client database, doesn't matter what their situation is, they're going to have a one-stop shop. So I'm going to re-share here and hopefully everything goes smooth. Hopefully you guys can see why you should be selling Instabrain tab.
Not yet. There we go. There we go. All right.
Because we talked about all the reasons why this product separates itself from what everybody else is doing wrong. But I want to also just kind of reiterate and make sure and clarify here what this product is offering to your clients, right? Because when I say 100% instant decision every single time, I feel like a lot of agents who've done business in the independent space, they immediately start to think that they're taking underwriting kneecaps because of that circumstance. So just to clarify here, 10 to 20 minute term application completed, 100%, whether it is you as the agent or the client is submitting the application, no ifs, ands, or buts. It doesn't matter what pops up on their MIB report, doesn't matter what pops up on their driving history or their prescription history. They're going to have you or the client are going to have an instant decision every single time when you hit submit. That's huge, right? Again, every other agency or carrier out there that's tried to offer an instant decision, they claim to be, but then they still have a medical exam. There's an extra hiccup or hoop that you have to jump through. The other thing is when I offer 100% instant decision every single time, a lot of people think that it's a $250,000 face amount cap, right? It's like a non-med policy, that it's going to be a simplified issue. That's not the case here. $50,000 is the minimum, all the way up to $1 million being the maximum. So you could technically have a preferred plus client that's going to get an instant decision that they wouldn't get with any of those other fully underwritten carriers. And this is still priced competitively just as much as all of those other fully underwrittens, but they're not getting that 100% instant decision guarantee. They also aren't having the living benefit built in that we're going to talk about here. And the other thing is when we are doing a consumer facing process and a product, having something that's going to be appealing to the client is huge. And what I mean by that is this bullet point we have here, affordable options starting at less than $1 a day. Every client wants $1 million, but sometimes they put in $1 million, they see the sticker shock and they close out of that browser immediately, right? So having a platform that when a client goes through, talks about their age, talks about their health, talks about what they're looking for, that, hey, it'll show them $1 million, but it will also give them an option that's starting at less than $1 a day, just going to help you as agents capture more sales, right? Give you more opportunities. The other thing is there's only one other instant decision carrier I know out there in the space that offers a customized branded link. And we've already talked about that carrier, they technically own a piece of your book of business. So now you have an official customized link. You could post on social media. You could send out on email blasts. You could put on your customer website. And any policy that is sold through that, you as the agent are 100% agent of record. Nobody else will have access to your clients. Again, that's been a huge selling point and a huge question point, even Ignite that I had that a lot of agents were asking me about. Now, let's take it one step further because I feel like a lot of those bullet points that I was just talking about there, a lot of the other instant decision products are offering. So I really want to separate ourselves here and talk about, first off, this is the only 100% actual instant decision product that also offers living benefits. There are a couple other products that claim to be instant decision that have living benefits, but you still need to know what the client's name is and submit a ticket ahead of time, which you might as well just submit a normal fully underwritten application, right? Why you want to have that link option to be able to send out to your client database, capture that sale, and them immediately be able to purchase it if they want to. You don't want to have to do a client ticket system, create an extra step for you as the agent to be able to go through to have that policy issue. So we're talking about automatically every single instant decision, Instabrain term with living benefits policy that is issued is automatically going to include a chronic illness rider built into it. The other carrier that we were talking about, not as affordably priced, right? They're not priced as well as what Instabrain is, and they also don't include the living benefit, and they have access to your clients. So today we're talking about an instant decision product, 100% instant decision every time, priced better than most of your fully underwritten terms out there, and includes a living benefit guaranteed. Now, this living benefit, those of you who are living benefit advocates, this is your chronic illness rider. A good way I'd love to train and describe that rider is it's very similar to a LTC or disability alternative. And the same 2 of the 6 daily activities of living that would trigger an LTC or disability rider will also allow the client with Instabrain to access a portion of their face amount while they're alive. The other thing that I think is really, really unique is because I've done North American, we've done, National Life Group, Transamerica, a lot of these other living benefit carriers I'm very familiar with, but none of them provide a guarantee built into their living benefit rider. So if I have $1 million policy with Instabrain and I qualify for the chronic illness rider, it's not up to the insurance company, because that's how it normally is, right? Up to 90%, and then they dictate and determine what the actual pay amount is. We're talking 50% guaranteed if the client qualifies. So if I have $1 million, I'm not misleading the client and telling them that they're going to get $500,000 if they qualify for that LTC situation. I am not familiar with whether it's instant decision or fully underwritten, another living benefit carrier that has a guarantee baked in like that. So giving you guys a story, giving you something that can give a leg up to every other agent in the country. Again, FFL has proprietary rights to Instabrain. It's not like any agent or client could call up to Instabrain and get a policy sold themselves. So you have full access to not only be offering the best instant decision product with living benefits, but also being able to be one of the first agents to provide a guarantee to that entire country. I have a lot of agents that'll then ask, well, does it have terminal illness rider? Of course it has terminal illness rider. A lot of the other term products that you get, the term riders that you're used to, terminal illness is built in, accidental death benefit rider is still built in. You have child benefit rider as well. That's all built in. I talked about the commission conversation earlier. Again, 100%. If you're selling a $400 a year policy, even the policy fee is going to be commission. You know what the commission is going to be on the entire amount. I'm going to get into a couple of these underwriting sweet spots. I'll try and hurry up a little bit here so I don't take too much of Matina's time up. And then the last bullet point here is zero case management. If there's guaranteed no underwriting, guaranteed, right, that you're going to know, right then and there when you hit submit, there's no chance of a case management or underwriting. Now, we're going to get into, I have some good contact info for a white glove service that we have set up for FFL, to where if you want some clarity or some clarification as to whether or not a client qualified, you'll have the full capability and access to be able to reach out, get some clarity as to why your client didn't qualify. The other thing that I want to mention here too is that any client submitted through Instabrain, there will never be a decline on the MIB. That's huge, right? So, because sometimes, especially when you send a consumer link out, we know the consumers are going to try and pull a fast one, right? So they try to pull a fast one, something comes back as a decline. That doesn't mean the sale is lost. There's still an opportunity to go back, identify why the client didn't qualify, and maybe we could change that extra question to make sure that you're getting the sale that you need, the client's getting the coverage that they were wanting. I have a couple things here I really want to brag about Matina and Frank and the Instabrain team behind the scenes, because a lot of times when you deal with carriers, it takes years for them to make any type of changes. Within the first year, I want to brag on a few of these underwriting guidelines: anxiety to preferred best, asthma to preferred best, cholesterol to preferred best, ADD, ADHD to preferred best, hypertension potentially to preferred best. These were all adjustments based off of the business that we received from agents, and we made those underwriting changes behind the scenes. we are listening to you. I have a couple other examples that specifically FFL has made recommendations that we already have in the works. We can give Grady some credit that we're making and we're implementing right out of the gate for you guys. The other thing is I want to talk about is just, one of our target niches. This is one of the things I know I had presented to Grady early on and he cracked up at. But recreational marijuana usage. That was a huge thing when it came to
kids show. So it's a joke. Keep going. It's a great slide. If you get the slide, you get the slide.
Again, bluntly speaking, we got you covered. Literally no medicinal required. They could, qualifiers can smoke up to 12 times a month recreational, still be able to get an offer. I think that's huge in today's, you know who you are if that's going to stick out to the clients that you're dealing with, right? But again, we wanted to make sure, with that being a huge niche recently, that we are making sure and adhering to that on the instant decision platform as well. The other thing is I want to talk about behind the scenes, because this is a question I get asked a lot, especially about, bigger BGAs and how it all works behind the scenes. So Instabrain, Fidelity Life, we are not stagnant in just choosing that instant decision that we originally rolled out is going to be the one size fits all. We are continuing to adjust that and improve it on a regular basis. So over the last couple of months, we've been working with an organization called Synapse, which is the utilization behind the scenes. It's kind of the admin platform that's giving that instant decision right out of the gate when an agent hits submit application. We've known that Synapse has done improved, approval ratings with agents, better predictive modeling, better methodology when it comes to medical records, credit reporting. Ultimately, all I want you guys to do is have confidence in is that we weren't just sticking with the first person that brought us to the dance. We're always going to make sure that whoever you guys have behind the scenes is going to be the best person to get you the most opportunities approved as possible. So 100% instant decision, guaranteed every single time, is huge, right? Nobody else can brag about that, can state that they can do that. We can do that. But the one other side of the fence that I want to mention about that is, again, we don't have that underwriting safety net. So, a good example I always use, client, you send a link out to your client clicks on the link, quotes the product, chooses he wants to go forward with Instabrain. He's submitting the application entirely himself, puts his payment method in, quotes it, does everything, which is how this product is supposed to work. But he puts, for his medication disclosure, he has lisinopril, high blood pressure, very common, something that would get approved with Instabrain, no problem. But maybe he doesn't mark yes under the blood pressure condition tab. All that takes is now all of a sudden he's getting a decline because there isn't an underwriter behind the scenes. All of you agents are getting 100% instant decision, which means we need to be as accurate as possible because there isn't someone behind the scenes to be like, oh, hey, Grady forgot to tell me that he was taking my blood pressure. So now all of a sudden you're getting a decline when all we had to do was just mark yes. He still would have gotten an offer. Policy would have been approved. But we all can't sit here on the call and act like a client doesn't try to pull a fast one. So that's the one thing I just want to kind of mention there is even if a client, you access your Instabrain portal and you have a decline, that doesn't mean that client couldn't have qualified. Let's review that application. You're going to see here I have the white glove contact information. Reach out, clarify what that client situation was, why they didn't get the instant approval. And again, none of these will be declines on an MIB report. So if we need to circle back around, we can absolutely do so. They could still potentially be able to qualify.
Hey, Parker.
And I'm already, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm gonna jump in here really quickly because we're running out of time. And so I wanted to still talk about the options that are available to agents when they get their profiles, and then we can maybe take some questions. Hopefully we'll have some time there, Grady.
No, we can go. We're good. Martina, I got infinite time for you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we don't. The signal doesn't cut off at 1, so we can go a little bit long. I'm sure there'll be some questions, but let's just be as efficient as we can, because I want to keep everyone get everyone back on the phones as we go.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
please
Absolutely.
take all the time you need. We're having fun. We're going to chop this up, and we'll have this as a reference point. Now, when people call in, they go, "Well, did you watch the training with Grady?" And then I haven't watched that yet. Well, here's the link. Go watch this. Answer all your questions. So, no, keep going. Take all the time you need.
So, did you want to pick that back up, Parker?
Oh yeah, well I can hop into if we have more time. Yeah, let's go into it.
He's going super fast now.
I'm picking it up. Yeah,
there you go. Caffeine's kicking in. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby. Let's do it. So the other thing is we rolled out the term with living benefits product. Everything I just talked about had already been built in. But what we also noticed was you guys do an incredible job of funneling business towards this link. But what if we have an 83-year-old who clicks on this? Is he going to be a term with living benefit guy? No, he's not going to be necessarily the best advocate for that. So automatically built into this platform, we not only have that term with living benefits product that I just mentioned, but we have 2 different solutions, regardless if it's a younger client or an older client. If they have an impaired risk and can't qualify for a normal, regular level term, they will have one of these other options. The other thing I will mention, there is no other 100% instant decision carrier, even the one you're thinking of, that offers an accidental death product. So if you have an 85-year-old, you have a 20-year-old that doesn't qualify for a normal, fully underwritten term product, they're still going to get the offer, get the option inside of the Instabrain platform with one of these other products. I'll hop here forward just a little bit right here. I just wanted you guys to see like what you will see in your platform. I'll get into this a little bit. I mean, I can even touch on it now. We have on the left-hand side here, all of you will be receiving the welcome email. It will have your login to the Instabrain portal here with the link. It will also have your logins to the carrier site for Fidelity as well. But we have a client that they tell me they have cancer right now. All right, well, I'm probably not going to go with the Instabrain term, but I could still do the accidental death benefit. I could still do the guaranteed issue, all built into the same platform. I'm automatically appointed for. It's just going to depend on the client situation. The other thing I wanted to talk about here, and this was already a recommendation from FFL that we're looking to implement, is a waterfall effect. So you send this out to your client. Grady clicks on this. He has cancer right now. He doesn't qualify for the term. It will automatically pivot him to the accidental death or to the guaranteed issue option, all within the same platform. I know it's something we've been asking everybody about. Accidental death, I think, is cool. One statistic I'd love to bring up here that I feel like most people don't realize, I'm sure a lot of you have heard that less than 2% of term insurance policies pay out in fruition, right? Well, did you know that out of those 2%, almost 50% of them are accidental death? That was a huge statistic to me that stuck out. So why is accidental death important for those clients that can't qualify for a normal term? Well, guess what? They have almost a 50% chance of still getting the same payout of what a normal client would on a fully underwritten term. But the other thing that I think that really stuck out to me was having a return of premium rider built into this accidental death product. This is going to give you guys as an agent an incredible story to tell, because now you're offering a guarantee. Either client passes away before age 70 due to an accidental death situation, and this was the best product that they ever purchased because they get that accidental death product. Or guess what? They live till the end of it. Nothing happens. They get every dollar back. What do they have to lose there in that situation? And again, it's not like the Instabrain term is something that doesn't offer table rating options. It does. It has the standard extra rate class. So if a client isn't qualifying for that, giving them an option that isn't just a guaranteed issue or an accidental death, but give them a story to tell with having return a premium rider, I think is incredible and is just going to give you guys a leg up compared to every other agent out there. The other thing I thought was really unique is, you know, and I feel weird saying it, but it's almost like this accidental death product builds cash value, right? To where like, even at, you know, year 15 here, I can access a portion of the cash that was paid in. I don't need to make it till year 20 or year 30, which is what most return of premium products work, right? If in year 8, if I wanted a portion, tough riddance, right? Hey, good luck. You have to make it to year 20, you have to make it to year 30. Our accidental death product with this ROP, any year except for the first, it looks like, right? Year 1 through 5, they can have access to a portion of their policy as well. Again, just giving you another story to help separate you from every other agent out there in the country.
Parker, big question is coming about a traditional whole life. Is that on the docket?
Man, Grady, did we plan this? I was like, because that's the next slide I have here. What's on the Instabrain?
I saw Lauren and Elise's question, and I want to take care of Lauren because she's one of our top producers, and Elise is on the come up. And you know, people are asking, Parker. Yeah. They're looking for a new option, and so you know, all love to Lauren up there. But yeah, we did not plan this, but I'm just a mind reader, so here we go.
Exactly. So I have a couple new products to tell you where we're going with the horizon. Really kind of paint that forecast of where we're going with, because any agent on the call today, you get set up right now with Instabrain, you're going to have access to any new product addition that we make, right? So now is like, get in now before that Black Friday sale is long, right? And then you'll have access to everything right out of the gate. So as far as new products are concerned, first one I want to clarify is level final expense. We have a guaranteed issue whole life, but what if I have an 80-year-old that doesn't have cancer and he just wants something competitively? We will have a level final expense product that'll be built into this platform by the end of the year. Again, we're still within our first year of launching this product, and we're already adding all of these additional improvements. The other thing that we're going to be adding is a pure term. You'll see here on the right side. You don't care about my living benefit story that I was saying, right? You just want the hands down most affordable term in the industry that you could send out, and your client knows when they purchase Banner, Protective, whoever was coming up at number 1, right? The select a term, you know, whatever it was, they will be priced higher than what this pure term will. So the client now on the Instabrain platform can choose to go and spend an extra few dollars with the living benefit, or they can choose to have the most affordable term in the industry, which will be the pure term. Again, it'll have preferred standard, standard plus. It'll have the standard option as well on there. You know, even a table rating class. And this is something that we're working towards table 4, table 8, just depends on the carrier and the underwriting guide you're looking at. But that is one thing that already is confirmed. The next phase that we have, though, is going to be answering the question that you just asked, Grady, is we will have a cash accumulation product built into this platform, 100% instant decision. Now, we're working with whether that'll be Fidelity Life, whether that'll be another carrier. Either way, it'll still fall into the same, you know, semantics that we have mentioned here on today's presentation, but it'll either be an IUL, it'll be a whole life, but you will have a cash accumulation product that will be available on this platform. The other 2 improvements that I have mentioned here on the bullet points on this slide is 100% FFL recommendations. Number 1, the number 1 question I had when I was at Ignite, when I met you all a few weeks ago in Phoenix, the number 1 thing I asked, text to pin signature option. Do we have the text to pin signature option? Do they have it? Do they have it? Right? So that was something we brought to Fidelity Life. We've already gotten the green light. We're just dialing it in right now. So that should be another option. If 100% instant decision, consumer-led, wasn't already easy enough, we're going to give you that text to pin signature option as well. The other big recommendation that we know FFL agents want is daily commissions. So we have, by the end of this month, daily commissions will be into effect as well. So we are listening to you.
Give them a $sign for that, guys. That's a good one. That's a good one. Daily commissions by the end of what was it before? It was weekly. We got you to 7 times, or at least 5 times it. Text to pin.
Yeah, it was like correct. Yeah, cutoffs are like end of the week, and then you got to release the following week.
Guys, like we said,
So
consider
now
the
we'll
top of
be
the call. This will be the last day you ever don't know about this company. And all of our other favorite companies, we know about them a lot. We talk about them. We lead with them. We're proud to represent them. This is another company that this will be the last day you're ever not going, oh yeah, I definitely have Instabrain's Pure Term, their new level final expense. Yeah, I got their guaranteed issue. You got accidental without a life insurance license, which you didn't even touch. You don't need a health license to sell that accidental. And then Parker's, couple on the top of the wedding cake. He loves living benefits on that term. So we've got all 5 different products you're going to have, plus daily pay, text to pin. Come on, man. Take us home, Parker. Let's get Matina on here.
I'm going to hand it off to Matina right here. But the biggest thing I'll just say there to piggyback off that is we're listening. All of these things were within the last couple of weeks that FFL Grady has brought to us and said that, like, this is what our agents want. And we've already been able to implement. So please do not hold back. Don't shy away from, whoever your agency lead is, whoever your team lead is, let them know what you're needing, what we're missing, the experiences and the hiccups that we're going through here. And I'm going to hand it off to you, Matina, right? Because you gave me the leeway there. But I want to at least share this. Instabrain white glove support at Fidelity Life. This is the 1-800 phone number. This is the email address to where if you submit an app after we get off today's presentation, client doesn't qualify. And you're like, I want to know the details of what happened. You can call this number. You can email them directly, and they will shine that light and tell you exactly what happened. Oh, they still could have qualified for the GIWL. Give you the information you need so you know how to pivot. And then at that point, I'll shut up. I know I wasn't as quick as what I thought I was, Matina. But I'll let you at least give these agents a little bit of a demo and a preview behind the scenes.
No worries, Parker. I did want to talk a little bit, I hit on the contracting piece and how quickly we were turning that around. And again, when you get your welcome email, you'll get your login credentials, and this is what you'll see when you drop into the agent portal. So we talked about how we're going to make this super fast. You have start application buttons for each of your 3 products. I want to talk a little bit about flexibility with your applications. So we offer 2 options with your application. We offer kind of this agent guided conversational style application that, it features your photo, your picture here in the upper right-hand corner. This is what the application looks like. You're asking the questions. Your client is giving you those answers. It's, branded to you specifically. We also have an e-app option. So this allows you to do some navigation in the application. So if you know that you have a client who may have a particular underwriting challenge, or you want to see what happens with that application, you can use the e-app to navigate directly to one of those sections. So maybe I have an employment concern. Using the left side navigation, I can jump down to maybe they have a driving record, maybe there's a history, or maybe they are one of those marijuana users. We can skip to that section. And this will allow you that flexibility in your application to enter those details and see what kind of effect it has on the underwriting. The way that this instant decision underwriting engine works, when you take this application, as Parker mentioned, we're going to take the data that's disclosed on the application, and we're going to compare that now to third-party databases. So this is the important part. What you disclose on your application needs to sync with what is being provided in those third-party databases. And when I say third-party databases, I'm talking about MVR, I'm talking about MIB, I'm talking about physician records, labs, scripts, all of those good things. So the disclosure on your application needs to sync with the data from the history. And that is going to give you the best opportunity at getting that instant decision approval.
So tell the clients to tell the truth. Is that
tell your clients, tell you the truth. Yeah, like we want to know it. Because what happens, Grady, is that it's the decision, it's the difference between you're not going to disclose your high blood pressure diagnosis from 2 years ago, but we're going to find it in your medical records. And so what we're dealing with now, what we're looking at is 2-year-old data. So are we going to be able to make your client an offer on 2-year-old data, or do you want to fill out the health questionnaire that says they saw their doctor 6 months ago, controlled with medication, numbers look great, and that's what's going to like improve or allow us to reconcile that data and present a better offer.
Awesome.
Let's see. We talked about your application options. Those are all represented here again. You also have in your agent portal a quick quoter. So you can quote the term with living benefits. You can quote the ADB and GI products in here. You have a prospects, applications, and sales database. So this is where you're looking at, quotes that you've run, applications that are in progress, and sales. I want to show you really quickly. We were talking about transparency and how we try to empower you with information and data. Your applications in progress database is one of those places. So you'll see here, we're showing you the percentage of completion on every one of your applications. So you'll see this test client application here got 81% of the way through this application and left off in the middle of the app. So maybe this is an opportunity to do some proactive outreach. Maybe I need to give this individual a call to see if she had any questions. Maybe there's something going on, or maybe she stumbled with something. Can I help motivate her, turn this thing around and get her through to the finish line? Once your policies go in force, they're living now with Fidelity Life. So your client engages with Fidelity Life. That is where they log in to manage their in-force policy. That's where they'll make policy changes. So they have that name recognition of Fidelity Life. That's where their consumer portal will be. Let's see, we talked about the commissions a little bit. So we are moving to daily commissions. We expect to have that rolled out completely by the end of the month. We'll start a soft rollout on July 24th, with everybody then shifted over to daily commissions by July 30th. So that is super exciting. Where else can you do an instant decision sale and get paid for that daily, right? So this is, when we say instant, we're talking about instant, fast, everything, like let's get it done. So let's see. Did I miss anything in this portal, Frank, that you want to hit on? Anything that I left off?
Anything, Steve, Frank, real quick, just if you can help answer this. So, I mean, anything that's assumed, right? Like our agents move so fast that oftentimes, like they log in and they go start application, and then they're driving either on a Zoom or a crank wheel or just over the phone answering the questions. Is there anything they need to set up prior to that, or what would be in that example the place they go to? Because the dream of sending out links and having clients buy and just checks showing up in your mailbox is something that really only exists in the movie The Secret. And as great as that is with Bob Proctor and all the people from that movie, and I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, but in the same concept, like majority of these sales are going to be made via a conversation they're having with a lead, and then they're going to either be screen sharing or just taking the data over the phone. What is this? Is that the three buttons right there on the middle of the screen? Anything they've got set up before that? Add any proper stuff? Like I want to take this call and go, here's the getting started plan for Instabrain. Make sure all the agents are watching this. So any prep stuff they need that they might miss in the email or subsequent emails that they got or didn't read XYZ.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we set out to do when we started working with this is we want to make it simple, easy, straight to the point. We developed these cards. This will come in a drip email. You'll see this design and this look driving to this agent activity right here as a consistent message. That's what we're striving for. Martina, if you hit the e-app one more time, e-app that Martina showed earlier is that behind the scenes. You might be working a couple products. You might be working something on a phone, whatever it might be. This gives you every piece of information. You see underwriting, you see answers, you see the questions that are going to come after that. You can work this in any order that you want. And that's a traditional kind of e-app that has real-time underwriting. Martina, if you close that, reopen the conversational UI, Grady, this is where you're in a screen share situation. So you go through this question by question in order with the agent. What we call it is direct to consumer on the agent behalf. Direct to consumer is the dream, not always sustainable, just like you said. This is direct to consumer on the agent's behalf. You're going to walk them through it. You're going to go line by line. You can share this. These are out of the box. This is what you'll get the whole time there. You can do whatever path that you want. You'll have it there. Every agent gets this. As soon as your contract's in, you get that welcome email, 5 simple steps, you're selling that day. That's what we're looking for here. We got a wealth of knowledge with Parker. I love you, man. The wealth of knowledge he's going to bring you. You guys are all going to work with Parker. You're going to get all that piece. Strategize. Grady strategizing with him. Love it. Continues working operations behind the scenes for us, solving problems, helping with underwriting, all those sort of pieces. But we built UI to meet you where you are. We want it quick and easy. We want it sales friendly. We want to make it your quickest path to a commission, and now a daily commission. That's announced today. I want that to get lost. That is new today as of 2 hours ago. It's super awesome. So yes, Grady, out of the box, you get a contract, you're selling. That's the way that we designed it. There'll be many more messaging on this, reiterating some of this, but the portal is designed to shine with the pieces that we need the most, and ultimately to get to sell. And that's what we're here to do. So I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited for what we have. Like I said, between the three of us and this team, we kind of cover all that. And Parker's point earlier, we're eager for feedback too. So something you don't have, I'm the creator of this, right? I work with the team. Like, this is how the straight line that you have. We want a feature. We're going to see it through. We're going to develop it. These are the things that we're doing right now with this group that are so excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Frank.
Yeah, thank you.
One thing there also to your question, Grady, is, when it comes to other agencies as well, you guys are killers, full-time life. But I also want you guys to know how some of our other big brokerages and BGAs are utilizing this as well. Right. And even a full-time life insurance agency, you guys have a great lead source, right? Now, if they're live transfer leads, maybe you're getting 100% contact ratio, but I feel like sometimes even saying you buy 1,000 leads, trying to even say a 90% contact ratio is pretty above board, right, for a lot of these lead vendors and the options that they're going through. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm talking about agencies that maybe do multiple lines of insurance. This is not only an incredible life insurance product that's going to provide a solution for all of your agents, but everything will be tracked. So I even have full-time life agents, they've been in the business for 30 years that can now use this Instabrain link to almost mind their book of business. Even if Grady Paulson clicks on that link and he just puts his name in and he quotes something and then closes out of the browser, every single one of your agents will have that information captured inside of the portal. So that was just one thing that I think that's worth mentioning beyond all of the great product and the competitiveness and everything that we're providing to your agents. The amount of tracking and data and information and opportunity that this type of link is going to provide is going to be incredible as well.
Yeah, and continue to grow, to pick up on that part. Like, we're continuing to do things. You're going to see Streamline. You're going to see all these pieces. Those other products, specs are all out of those sort of things. So this is the start of that communication. Again, we have a wealth of knowledge within our group here. Grady, you and I talked about some of these streamlining and day one sort of actions. We're in it right now, right? We got contracts rolling. We're going to have product sales. Like, we're going to see commissions paid to this group next week or the week after. Like, that's super exciting to us right now. I'll kick it back to you, Grady. We appreciate the time for sure on this today. Anything you need, you come to us. You got any more questions real quick? Well, we got some time if you do. But
we got Dom's question, and only because I love Dom. He wants to know a little bit more, because we sell a lot of IULs. We sell a lot of whole life, which final expense. A lot of people are really focused on what is the question? Are focused on veteran leads. So that's become a huge lead source for us, which then would naturally lead towards a whole life type product, which is why the eagerness for an official or full-time complete benefit laden whole life is needs to come. But give us a tiny bit more details on the guaranteed issue. Does it come with anything? What is the waiting period? Obviously anyone can get it. It's guaranteed issued, but what is the kind of the stipulations? Is it 30, 70, 100%? How does that work? Does it happen at your 2 years in a day, 3 years in a day?
36 month. So a little bit longer than, like your Gerber or your AIG, right? But 36 month is what we're looking at for the graded. Pricing wise, you're going to see it even beating some of these other guaranteed issue, right? So you're going to get great pricing on that. Again, little bit of a longer graded death benefit, but going up also to age 85, right? 50 to 85. So I think the biggest question Dom had there, if I'm reading, it'll be a 36 month waiting period for the grade.
100% at 36 months, or does it stair step after year 1, year 2?
No. You'll get the 100% after 36.
Okay, and then is there a 10% bonus like the others if, God forbid, they pass away in those first 36 months?
Of course. Yeah. So for the first 36 months,
plus 10%.
Premiums paid in plus the 10%. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. Any other final questions? Finals. Who else had a question here? A lot of dollar signs. Appreciate the love.
We got some good medication breakdown. I'm reading Jamie's comment here. On the underwriting guide, Jamie, if you have a particular condition or a situation, I mean, just let us know that you don't see as far as medication listed, and we'll get it added, right? And I'll get you the answer that you need.
Parker at Instabrain.io. So, well, awesome. Well, guys, thank you for the time. Everybody, please drop IB for Instabrain in the chat below. Fill it up. Who can do it the most? And let's have some fun with a new company. I'm pushing them on some bonuses and iPads and trips and all kinds of additional things where they're like, Grady, let's get some apps sold, and we're gonna show them what we can do here at FFL. They built an amazing platform and a phenomenal online sales process, which is what we love, because we've gone from door knocking and driving 300 miles a day across from Apache Junction to Buckeye to Anthem to Tucson in a day, selling life insurance, to sitting in our boxers, whatever you wear, sitting in our shorts or yoga pants and selling insurance by the pool. What a life we've created here. But we've got a phenomenal new partner who is eager, as you can see, to earn our business, earn our trust, and become one of those top 5 carriers, which I'm sure they saw at the beginning of that call.
Yeah, so, I'm trying to figure out how to get out to Orlando.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to go to Puerto Rico. So
yeah,
let's do this.
America Airlines. We'll meet you. Yeah, let's set some goals. So, but guys, it's the beginning, and you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start if you ever want to be great, and that's a great line. Now they're already great, and let's just get started, and if we've got questions, we'll figure it out. But this is another phenomenal option we have in our quiver of arrows that we have to protect and serve our clients with. So thank you all for your time and attention. Thank you to Parker, Martina, and Frank for joining us. And we'll see you more. Reach out to your upline manager, reach out to your contracting manager, and they'll get you started with us. But guys, this is why you work here. This is why you work at Family First Life, because of great relationships and partnerships, because the success that Sean has imparted and given to us, and the success of your managers and the success of yourself, has allowed us to come to a place where now in this business, in this industry, we can earn the relationships that we have with new carrier partners just wanting to work with us. So guys, it's a great place to be. You're at the right place. Now what you've got to do is figure out how fast and how feverish you can dial that phone. Dial the phone, meet the clients, connect with them, honor them, serve them, see what's going on in their life, see what products we can have that can fit into the stresses that they have, which is why they've filled out cards online and filled out forms and called in places to learn more about getting life insurance, and figure out how you can serve them. Instabrain's becoming a great option, as well as many of our carrier partners. So guys, thank you for your time.